On a moonless night, one man dared to enter the abandoned mansion that had haunted a small town for generations. The locals whispered about its cursed walls, where every curious soul vanished or returned, changed. But Marcus, a skeptic, thought the legends were nothing more than ghost stories. Little did he know, his own disbelief would become his worst nightmare. What he uncovered in that house wasn't just terrifying, it was something that would trap him forever. Stick around to find out what happened when he crossed the threshold, and why no one who enters ever leaves the same. The wind howled through the desolate streets of the forgotten town, carrying an ominous chill. In the distance, the mansion loomed like a dark sentinel, a place the locals avoided at all costs. Rumors about it had spread for years, with tales of disappearances and strange happenings. It was said that anyone who entered after dusk never returned the same. Some vanished entirely, while others came back broken, their eyes hollow. The townsfolk feared the mansion, but none more than Marcus, a self-proclaimed skeptic. All his life, Marcus had dismissed such stories as superstition. Ghosts and curses? Ridiculous, he often scoffed. But something about the mansion intrigued him, its mystery gnawing at him. He wasn't afraid of the dark or of what lurked in it. Tonight, he would uncover the truth once and for all. It was a bitterly cold evening when Marcus stood before the mansion's rusted gates. The gate creaked eerily as he pushed it open, its protests echoing in the still night air. The mansion stood dark and silent, its windows like hollow eyes staring back at him. The door hung crookedly on its hinges, barely able to hold itself upright. With a deep breath, Marcus stepped inside, unafraid. The air inside the mansion was thick with a musty, decaying scent. It felt suffocating, as though the house itself was holding its breath. His footsteps echoed loudly in the emptiness, and the whispers, faint at first, grew louder with each step he took. Were they voices? Or just the wind? He couldn't tell, but something about the house made him uneasy. The walls, lined with faded portraits, seemed to watch his every move. Eyes that should have been lifeless seemed alive, following him as he walked. Suddenly, the floorboards creaked above him, and a faint tapping sound filled the air. His heart raced as he froze in place. It wasn't the wind. Someone or something was upstairs. He moved toward the stairs, each step creaking louder, the tapping growing louder as he climbed. At the top of the stairs, the sound was unmistakable, rhythmic, deliberate. Marcus reached the top and stood before a door that was barely ajar. He hesitated, but then pushed it open slowly, revealing a dimly lit room. In the corner, a figure sat rocking back and forth. Its back was hunched, and its face was hidden in shadows. The figure muttered to itself, the words unintelligible, but full of despair. His eyes widened as the figure turned its head sharply toward him, its gaze piercing through the darkness. Its eyes were wide open, black as coal, staring with an unnatural intensity. The figure's lips curled into a grotesque smile. Marcus took a step back, his heart pounding in his chest. The figure stood slowly, its movements stiff, unnatural. The room grew colder with every passing second. The whispers grew louder, as though the house itself was speaking to him. "You shouldn't have come," the figure whispered in a voice that was more a hiss than words. This place will never let you leave." Marcus tried to back away, but his feet felt rooted to the spot. The figure moved toward him with a speed that was both unnatural and terrifying. "You will stay with us," it whispered again, its voice a rasping echo in the room. The tapping continued, now all around him, the walls seeming to pulse with an eerie energy. Marcus wanted to scream, to run, but his body wouldn't obey. He stumbled backward, his flashlight flickering and then going out completely, plunging him into complete darkness. He could still feel the figure's eyes on him, hear its breath, feel the coldness surrounding him. The whispers became deafening, crashing into his ears from every direction. The figure reached out, its cold fingers wrapping around Marcus's wrist with an iron grip. He struggled, but it was no use. The darkness consumed him, the house pulling him into its depths. He tried to fight, tried to scream, but the mansion wouldn't let him. The whispers, the tapping, the figure's haunting presence, it all became one, drowning him in an endless abyss. And then, Just as suddenly as it had all started, the mansion fell silent. Outside, the wind howled louder than ever, but inside the mansion, all was still. The town would never know what happened to Marcus. The mansion would claim another soul, its dark secrets buried deep within its walls.